Like most games of that era, The Simpsons Hit and Run has its fair share of glitches, out-of-bounds secrets, etc. And today I'm going to be discussing some of my favorites. First, I'm going to start off with the ones that don't require any cheat codes, so anybody with the game can do these. I am going to try and stay away from some of the really popular ones that I know you guys have probably seen 1,000 times over, but this is one that just can't go unmentioned. If you walk into the brick wall by the sign at the entrance to the schoolyard, if you do it just right, you can fall right through and be in the out-of-bounds area. Pretty crazy that this slipped into the game. Other people have actually been able to navigate around in the out-of-bounds area and find non-playable characters, playable characters, the Simpsons house. I don't know if it's something with the copy of my game, but I couldn't quite get it to let me do all of that, but I was still able to perform the glitch that drops me into the out-of-bounds area, so yeah, that counts for something, right y'all? This next one that doesn't require a cheat code is also just kind of stupid. It really serves no real purpose, I just thought it was interesting. In level 6, if you get one of the trucks that's advertising the Itchy and Scratchy movie that has the big horns on top, you can pull up to this house and think, oh, I wonder what it's like to stand on the balcony now that I can reach it with this truck, and you're gonna fall right through.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just...
However, though, you can also use this same truck to reach other areas that you normally wouldn't be able to, such as the Krusty Burger. You can get on top of it and you don't pass right through. There's nothing up there because they didn't plan on you getting up here, but it's cool that they actually had a hitbox on this one. Another trick for level 6 that also works in level 3 are the barricades that are supposed to keep you out of Krusty Lou Studios. If you complete up to level 7 and get the Hoverbike and then go back to level 3 or level 6, you can bring the Hoverbike in through those little spokes, or rails, or whatever you call them. Which also means rather than kicking the vending machines in the boxes in the one room, you can just drive right through them and collect them faster if you wait to 100% these levels until after you have the Hoverbike. As you can see, I had already destroyed them before I'd realized this trick, but we're not going to talk about that. This one isn't so much of a secret either, but more so just something I don't think a lot of people realized because no one really thought to try. But in level 1, you actually can access that house that had the pool in the backyard that isn't opened until level 4. There's nothing really there and it serves no real purpose. It's just interesting that you can access that because you can't access the other areas such as the graveyard or the yard to Mr. Burns' mansion. But speaking of Mr. Burns' mansion, though you can't access the inside of it or the front yard without cheats, you can, however, get into the chest yard out back. I don't know how much of a secret this is supposed to be because it clearly seems like it was meant to be able to be accessed because there are coins and boxes up there. It's just probably another one of those things that no one really thought to do until they had explored the game some more in future levels and realized where that location was. But I still thought it was cool that they left it accessible in level 1. But one interesting thing about it that I'm sure is an accident is that if you do a double jump and then do your attack where you ground pound, you can actually shatter the crusty glass behind the doors. Pretty cool, right? Now we're going to turn on the cheats though and go inside of Mr. Burns' mansion. You actually can explore around the mansion using cheats. It is pretty much completely empty, but it was still left in level 1 of the game. Another part of the game that I always wanted to get into that they had blocked off was the section of the graveyard that you can only use in level 7. However, unfortunately, for some reason they have it barricaded up so far that even with cheats you still cannot get into the graveyard. But I was able to go up high enough to kind of get a view overhead of what it looks like. I'm not sure what their purpose for putting the boundaries up this high were because I'm sure it can just be stood on, but whatever, they didn't intend for us to go back here anyway, so. I know there's some other glitches and stuff that you guys might have seen before, but the reason I'm not going to do them is because you guys have seen them before plenty of times, I'm sure. So the last one that I'm going to do is what is behind the roadblocks in level 7. There's a whole part of the town there that they won't let us see because they just have it blocked off. And surprisingly, you actually can go back here with cheats. You fall right through the ground, and they've pretty much stripped that whole part of town, so there's nothing there other than some random floating Springfield gasoline signs. I loved level 7's take on the game, but I wish they would have did this part of the town too. It would have been so cool to see the entire map done like this, but I get it, they probably were running out of time, and let's be honest, this game is still amazing beyond its years anyway. That being said, subscribe for more content. If you can, support me on Patreon and help me do this channel full time. Links to my Patreon and my merch are in the description. Comment below if there was any glitches you discovered as a child, especially if it's one that I didn't include here that maybe isn't so popular that you would like me to do. But again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the flip side.